Thank you very much for showing up at this late night. I know it's so late over there. Inaya, thank you very much for being a part of Focus Rewire team as well. As you know, me and Ryan running this cohort. So just would like to know a little bit feedback, review, any suggestion, comments around you being here as a part of this journey. So where were you before working with us, specifically with me or Ryan?
So I feel like I was very last minute with my studying. I knew that I wasn't studying very well and that it was very much like I'd see like Ryan's YouTube videos on like how to study this or like study tutorials and I'd save it to my watch later on YouTube and I'd never watch it and then it would come to like last minute like prep or procrastination and I'd always have the voice in the back of my head saying like I need to study, I need to do this and like I need to start earlier and not leave it to the last minute. And then it gets to the last minute and I'm just in the same cycle.
Right. Okay. And I guess you pretty much covered like what you were struggling with before and everything. So what were your biggest concern before working with me, specifically when I asked you to join this community? What was your biggest concern while before working with me? Yeah.
I think it was like, am I ever going to be able to break the cycle? Is it like everything that you guys were saying was like, oh my God, this is exactly what is wrong with me. Like this, you were hitting all of the points. And I think it took that for me to realize that these are my issues. And it's like I'd slowly started to recognize it. But regarding my concerns, I think my biggest concern was that I was never going to be able to stop doing this and that this was just going to be a consistent pattern and I'm going to end up doing this for the rest of my life because I'd been doing this for so long and I hadn't been able to fix it. So I wasn't sure, is this ever gonna be solved? Am I ever gonna be able to study it consistently and like um in less stressful situations, if that makes sense?
Right. And how long you have been working with me?
I think it's been about 5 weeks now.
And what's been your favorite part of about my help?
I think it's been like the consistent reaching out and I've fallen back into that cycle within the 5 weeks of like leaving my work to the last minute and I mean when I started working with you I was at that stage which is kind of funny but just throughout these past 5 weeks I have been like not as on it or not focused on studying or like reaching out or messaging you or just working and doing like all of the activities and stuff and I've been falling into the procrastination loop but then because you're like constantly reaching out and checking in, like, how are you? Do you want to hop on a call? Da, 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 da. It's helped me keep focused and I've started to go back into my study now at a consistent level, which I never thought I would. Because you've been reminding me like gently, like, oh hey, is everything okay? And
Mm,
that's been really helpful because if you hadn't done that and like how it was before when I just, like when I had the course and I was just like it was just reliant on me to like watch the recordings and stuff. I never did that. It was just
mm,
there. And because you kept reaching out to me, it's reminded me, okay, and like we have the weekly calls and stuff, and it's just really helped
mm.
obviously as well the community as well as kept that sort of sense of morale and let's keep going and working together.
Thanks. Something went in my eyes, maybe my sunscreen. I'm so sorry for that. Uh,
Okay.
yeah, it just like
Is it
burning
gone
out of
now?
me. Yeah, it is. So what made you take that step and decide to start working with me?
I think it was just like I think it was this I mean it was the way you worded it as well made me realize and I think I thought of it to myself as well like it could be now I think the program's about 8 weeks, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I was like thinking to myself, I was like, let's be realistic. I've been part of the mental mastery community for like 3 months, okay?
Mm,
And I've not made any progress because that's reliant on me. And it's like I kept telling myself, "Oh, I'm gonna watch it, I'm gonna watch it, and I never did.
mm,
This was a lot more different. And um yeah, I think it was just the sense that like it could be 8 weeks from now and I could be in the exact same position as I was because I was in that same position 3 months
mm,
ago.
mm. Yeah,
Um, so yeah, it was just that sort of thought process. It's kind of like all or nothing. Like
yeah.
I could be in the same situation again 6 weeks from now, or 8 weeks, sorry, or I could be someone who has like at least got an awareness, has been taking those steps to improve. Yeah.
Thank you very much, Inaya. I know we are like running out of the time, but just last two questions.
Hmm.
So, um, since you started taking actions in such a short period of the time, I'm aware like from last 2, 3 days since we had a call. So what result have you achieved?
I think it's been like so much easier for me. Okay, I don't want to jinx it, by the way. It's been a lot easier for me to study, and I think it's just the way that I've been approaching and viewing my studies has been different in the sense that it's like I'll wake up and the first thing in my head is like, okay, need to do the morning routine. But also like I know I'm not supposed to check my phone. I do check my phone, but I'm doing the other bits of the morning routine. So it's just like I know that wasn't linked to the studying, but it's just like I start my day thinking about it and it's like, okay, I just need to do my 20 minutes. Just need to do my 20 minutes. Just need to do my 20 minutes. And it's so much like I just feel like I have less resistance when it comes to sitting down and just knocking it out of the just getting it out done out of the way. Um, I think in terms of like I remember the first week we did the worksheet, right? And we were like doing the audit log and stuff. That really helped me in the sense of like I did like, planning out my studies and what I'm gonna do.
Mm,
I feel like I haven't been following it as much for the 20-minute sessions, but I've been doing the 20-minute sessions more. And
mm,
when I was doing the first week, I was sitting down for a really long period of time because I had an exam, because I was cramming for it.
mm, mm.
Um, so it just, I mean, it did help me like prioritize and help me, but these past few days have been different in the sense that I'm just knocking it out and I'm not feeling like, oh, I have to study now and I'm going to sit there. And I think I've also been nicer to myself in the sense that if it's getting to like 30 minutes or I'm getting close to an hour, which is what I tend to do. Um, and I'm losing my concentration or I feel like I catch myself now a lot more like, okay, I'm recognizing that, okay, I'm switching to another tab or I'm, checking my phone. Okay, now it's time for me to take a break or just walk away or refocus myself because I've been working for too long and we'll start again later. And
Yeah,
that's just helped me again because I'm being more consistent with it.
nice, nice. So do you feel like that a little bit calmness and that indirectly as a by default, like the study stress has been reducing, having a more organized life and schedule? I mean, I know
The
you're still
curve is like
working.
flattening out a bit.
Yeah, yeah,
If
it's
you,
just like a
yeah.
fluctuation. What is the one unique thing you would tell you're finding in this community which you have never seen before on online program? What do you think? What it could be?
I haven't necessarily joined a lot of other online communities or programs, but I think it's just the constant like reaching out because I think that is the one thing that even when you join communities and you can see like someone is posting or something like this and that it's good also as well because it helps you keeping you accountable and it's like, oh, I get a notification that someone has posted, and I'll like skim through it, and I'm like, oh my God, that's really good. I need to start getting on it. But also that, like, it's been a couple of days, or it's been a couple of like, it's been a week or two, whatever. And then like you'll message me, and you're like, oh, is everything okay? And I'm like, oh, okay, now I like, like need to start getting back on it now. And also one more thing as well that's really, I think it's really helped me is that the weekly calls. I know at the start I was a bit like, oh, okay, the timings and stuff. But regardless of that, it's still, and also because I feel like I'm a bit of a night owl, I think it works perfectly because it's like nighttime is when I'm more like relaxed and I don't want to work or anything. Then when I join in the evening or at the nighttime for me, it's like midnight or whatever. I start the next day and I'm like, okay, I need to,
Mm,
start my week better and off now because it suits my timing. It's not like during the day where I'm like working or I'm, with my friends or whatever. It's when I'm alone and I am in that sort of state where I'm sort of focusing on myself and everything. But yeah, the weekly calls have helped me in the sense that I might not do anything throughout the week. Then it comes to the weekly call time, and then I'm like, oh, okay, let me just join. I've not really done anything this week. And then I start the week off like, okay,
mm,
need to get
mm.
back on it now. Everyone else is there. I'm listening, even if I'm like a week or two behind, which I have been. It's still good because it's like I'm listening to what you guys are saying. I'm trying to apply it to myself. So it has also helped me keep accountable as well.
I promise for the last question. Would you recommend joining this community to anyone who's struggling with procrastination?
Yeah. 100%. I procrastinated during the course as well, right? Like you've seen it. I procrastinated, um, but it still helped me. And like there were a couple of weeks where I just wasn't really doing anything, and I've still managed to turn it around.
Mm,
And I hope that progress continues. And I can see myself doing this more in the sense like studying more and stuff, just literally based on like the last couple of like the last call that we've had. And obviously the calls that we've had throughout the past couple of weeks, it's been easier for me to apply it. The resources that you guys give as well, to think, it helps me think a bit more, like, you know, the whole like recognize, cognize and stuff. I was
Mm,
like, it's made me think about my studying in a different way, I guess. But yeah, I don't want to jinx it.
mm, mm.
Yeah, it's early days, but yeah, it has
Yeah.
definitely helped me.
Thank you very much, Inaya. Unless you have any suggestion for us, like how we can improve, um, you can give that as well. Like what additional support you need from us, specifically from me, from Penrose, because I understand there are calls happening according to your time, but unfortunately, due to Ramadan, you're not being able to attend those calls. But is there anything
Mhm.
else you need from us? What do you think? What could be additional
I
steps or
think
support?
I remember like in the mental mastery one, I remember seeing you guys doing like challenges. I think we started off, I think you started, I think during week 2 or week 3, you did like a study challenge. And I remember every time I was like, oh my God, I'm going to start it or I'm going to do it. And then I was like, wait. And then I ended up missing it and stuff or whatever. That was my fault due to procrastination. But I feel like now if you maybe got, if you like, you know, when you're back from your meditation retreat or it was just like, or even if it was like a 20-minute study call, even, you know, when we did it on the, one with Ryan. There was like a
Hmm.
15 minute, I think he went on like a breakout room with Leslie and it was like 15 minutes and we just worked. Or like in another call previously, me and Leslie literally just stayed on call working for like an extra like 20, 30 minutes or whatever. And I know you did one as well. It was like a group call. You did like study times and stuff like that. So it'd be nice if maybe like, you know, a couple of times a week there was like a set time and, you know, you could just tune in like 20, 30 minutes. We just work together, which would be really nice. But yeah,
That
that's just
that's
yeah.
actually awesome. Yeah, I'm planning to consider that after once I come back, because next week is
Mhm.
all about the muda, which is like removing the waste from your life and throughout the day. So thanks very much for that. I won't take you too much time. I will work on that, and yes, you'll definitely gonna see some study sessions multiple times. So at least you can join one of them. Once again, thank you, Inaya, for coming this late and showing some compassion. So grateful for that, for your time. I'll speak to you soon.
Take care. Have a
All
nice
right.
time on your retreat as
You
well.
too. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.